Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Neha Hamilton and today we are going to cover a topic called questionnaire. But let me tell you that we are covering a topic on research methods of management, and till now we have covered a lot of topics in research methods in management. And today we are going to understand how to develop a questionnaire. What are the different types of questionnaire and how to develop them? So, uh, the lecture objectives of today's class is to make you understand the basic concept of questionnaire and also what is the purpose of questionnaire that we are going to understand. What are the various elements of questionnaire? What are the characteristics and types of questionnaire? What are the steps which are involved in making the questionnaire? What are the issues that are related to content of questionnaire? Guidelines of developing questionnaire, advantages and disadvantages of questionnaire, right? So this is the lecture outline that these are the things that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. First of all, we'll come to the concept of questionnaire. So what is a questionnaire? If I ask you, please explain questionnaire, what will you say? How will you explain? So questionnaire is basically a instrument which is made of set of questions. What is a questionnaire? Questionnaire is an instrument or a tool which is made of set of questions, and it is set of standard questions for gathering related information from the group of individuals. So what do we do with that questionnaire? We gather the information, we gather the data that we are intended to go for data analysis. We want data because we have a research problem. We want to solve that research problem. And for that, a questionnaire is needed. So, what is a questionnaire again? It is a tool or instrument or set of questions. It is set of standard questions for getting related information from the group of individuals. That is questionnaire. Now, uh, it has a lot of applications, right? First of all, let us understand that what is the purpose of questionnaire. I hope the concept of questionnaire is clear. That when I talk about questionnaire, I am talking about a specific set of questions which are focused to solve any research problem. The data that is needed to solve a particular research problem is gathered through questionnaire, right? Now the next thing, the questionnaire should be concise, particular, and information oriented. So, whatever the questionnaire you are deciding, it should be very brief, it should be very to the point, and it should, take the information which is necessary to answer a particular question. Next, there are various applications. For example, if you want to understand the personality traits of athletes, if you want to motivate, see how the students are motivated, if you want to see the dietary pattern of obese or diabetic people, right? You give them a questionnaire to understand their what is their routine on day-to-day basis, what do they do on the day-to-day basis, to have a good idea of what happens. A set of questions designed to generate statistical information from a specific demographic needed to accomplish the research objective. So, what is a questionnaire? Questionnaire is basically a set of questions that is designed to generate statistical information from a specific demographic needed to accomplish the research objective. Now let us understand what is research objective. Then we'll come to demographic and then we'll come to questionnaire because these are the hard words in this definition. So we need to understand these words. Research objective, right? We know what is research. research or exploring about a particular topic, gaining more and more insights on a particular area. That is called as research. Now, what are research objectives? Objectives means aims of doing a particular research. That is called as research objectives. So, when a set of questions are designed to generate statistical information from a specific demographic. Demographic means population, right? Demographic is a word that gives us population characteristics. So, whatever population characteristics, population, features that we know can be answered with the help of those set of questions. So, it is basically a research tool or a research instrument which is used to gather data, right? And why do you use a questionnaire? Because you have a research objective, and in order to answer those research objectives, you need to have an instrument through which you can collect data. So when we design set of questions that are specifically designed to answer particular research objectives, that is called as questionnaire. A questionnaire is a research tool consisting of series of questions and other facts asking the individuals to obtain statistically useful information about a given topic. The questionnaire is invented by Sir Francis Galton. So we always have to remember the name of the scientist who has invented questionnaire, because we should be we should have gratitude in our hearts and our minds, because today we are going to understand this topic of questionnaire. Today we have a very efficient research instrument tool through which we can collect data, and we should be thankful, and we should remember his name. What is his name? His name is Francis Galton, right? So he has invented this questionnaire through which you can collect data. Now, what is questionnaire all about? The questionnaire is the probability and the most abused of the data gathering devices. It is easy to prepare and to administer. The questionnaire is a form prepared and distributed to secure responses to certain questions. It is a device for securing answers to questions by using a form which the respondent will fill by himself. It is a systematic compilation of questions. It is important instrument used to gather information from the widely scattered sources. Normally, it is used when one cannot see personally all the people from whom he desires the responses, or whether there is no particular reason to see them personally. So, when it is used to take information from the people to whom you cannot approach easily, the people who are not easily approachable. For example, your research population consists of people all over the Rajasthan. So you cannot, visit each and every individual who is living in Rajasthan. It is better to choose a sample and send them the questionnaire who are living in different parts of Rajasthan. So it is basically a platform through which you can get in touch with those people with whom you cannot approach personally. So that is when questionnaire is being used. Now let's come to the design part. We have covered the concept part. Now it is important to understand the design. Questionnaire design is a long process that demands careful attention. A questionnaire is a powerful evaluation tool and should not be taken lightly. See, whatever questions you decide in your questionnaire are going to decide the direction of your data analysis. If the questions that you are choosing in your questionnaire are not appropriate, are not in line with your hypothesis or your research objectives, you are never going to get the right answer. So it is very important to have right set of questions. The design is very important. Design begins with understanding of capabilities of a questionnaire and how they can help your research. If it is determined that a questionnaire is to be used, the greatest care goes into planning of objectives. Questionnaires are like any scientific instrument. One doesn't collect data and then see if they found something interesting. One forms a hypothesis and an experiment that will help prove or disapprove the hypothesis. So, why do we need a questionnaire? We need a questionnaire because we have a research objective. If we have a research objective, if we have a research problem, we should have a hypothesis, right? Hypotheses are designed on your research objectives. Now, in order to progress your research, you need to prove your hypothesis. For that, you need data, you need evidence, you need logic. That data is actually covered through questioning. The mode of collecting the data so that you can analyze the data and you can uh, prove or disapprove the hypothesis. The base is questionnaire, right? Now, what is the purpose of a questionnaire? The primary purpose is to extract data from the respondent, right? So, what is the first and the basic purpose of a questionnaire? You want to extract data, take out the data from the people, right? And why you are taking out the data? Because you want to analyze that data further. It is inexpensive way to gather data from a potentially large number of respondents. So, not a doubt, without a doubt, I can say that questionnaire is the cheapest way of collecting data. See, the if we talk about the other ways of collecting data, we have interview method, we have survey method, we have uh, you know observation methods. So all these methods take a lot of money, and a lot of money is being invested when you actually collect data from them. For example, when I talk about interview, you have to visit a person, go to a person, take an appointment, travel to that person, ask him questions, build a rapport with that person so that he is easily answering all your questions, right? So, this is the basic purpose of the questionnaire, that it extract data, point number one. And point number two is that you can gather data from potentially large number of respondents. It helps to increase speed and accuracy of recording. So, uh, questionnaire can increase the accuracy and speed of recording the data, because at a time you can send questionnaire through mail or digitally to thousands of people, right? Now you just need to follow up and ask him that please fill my questionnaire and please send back me the data. When properly constructed and responsibly administered, it becomes very important for providing a standardized data gathering procedure, right? So, when you construct the questionnaire very properly and when you administer it nicely, then it becomes important tool for providing a good quality data, right? Or we call it as standardized data for gathering the procedure. So the basic advantage is that it is the most efficient way of collecting data from the respondents, right? And it improves the speed and accuracy of your recording of data. It also helps you to save time, money, and energy, right? So these are the basic purposes of a questionnaire. Now, the next point is element of questionnaire. Now, what are the elements of questionnaire? The first and the most important thing is title. Title of the questionnaire should give the respondents a exact meaning of your questionnaire or why you are actually collecting data. What is your motive of collecting data? So the first and the most important thing is title, right? It should be clear and it should be precise. The title should be clear as well as precise. This helps to identify the demerit, the domain of the investigation, right? Title, if you read the title, you get to know that, okay, this questionnaire is about tracing my eating habits, or this questionnaire is about decoding my behavior, or this questionnaire is about my liking of a particular brand or particular services, right? So the title should be self-explanatory and it should explain that why you are collecting data from that respondent, because respondent has the full authority to know about your research and what are the things that you are doing, why you are doing, why you are collecting data. The respondent is initially get oriented to the investigation. Whatever title you are writing, it is okay, but you should give an initial introduction about the topic that you are investigating or the topic that you are doing. It should be captivating enough to attract the attention and enthusiasm. So, uh, the title should be catchy and it should be attractive so that the respondent get enthusiastic about your particular questionnaire. Talking about the questionnaire, the next point that comes is called as general information. This has the description of purpose of study. The respondent is assured of confidentiality of information, making clear that there is no wrong or right answers and honest answers are requested. So once you have decided a title, that is good and that is catchy and that is going to attract attention of people, the next thing that you are going to understand is you have to write the general information. As I mentioned you just now, that it is very important for the customers or respondents to know that why we are doing this particular research, what is the motive or objective of doing a particular research. So the description and purpose of study should be clearly mentioned and it should be noted down in a research that these are the particular study motives. The respondent is assured of confidentiality of data. So it is research ethics that whatever data a respondent is providing you, it has not to be shared with anybody, right? The confidentiality, the secrecy of data should be maintained with utmost care, right? This is one of the most important research ethics. So that is something that you have to take care of when you are, sharing the data with the respondents. Honest answers are requested. So how we are going to get honest answers? You have to write in the information that no answer is right or wrong. Whatever is your opinion, we are here to note down your opinion. We are not here to judge you as a person. There is no good, bad, or gray areas. There is only your opinion that we want to take through this question, right? For example, a general information example is given so that you get a right direction on how to write the general information about a question. The questionnaire is designed to allow underwritten to assess the exposure um, that exists in your activities in connection with pollution and or contamination or other environmental work related issues. So it's a great example. This is how you should write down two or maximum three lines explaining why you are looking for what particular kind of information. Next point is specific instructions. Specific instructions means uh, whatever specific things the respondent should keep in mind when they are filling a particular questionnaire, right? This offers concise demonstration on how to carry on the business of responding to the questionnaire. So, what are the specific instructions you want the respondents to keep in mind, right? So that right answers can be given. For example, if you are using Likert scale, right? So Likert scale has like 5 points. Generally, it has 6 or 7 points also, but generally it has 5 points. So you have to explain the respondent that why you have given these 5 points. What is the basic motive of you giving these 5 points? This is the thing that you need to clarify. Questionnaire items. It is the main part of the questionnaire, scheduled to be clearly separated from the rest of the things. So, questionnaire items means the main questions which are the part of the questionnaire. Now we have to understand the characteristics of a good questionnaire, right? Why, what makes a questionnaire a good questionnaire, and what are the characteristics that should be added in your questionnaire so that it also becomes of a good quality. The first thing is it deals with an important or significant topic. The topic selection in research should be a topic which is of value to the society, the results of which can help humanity and that can add precisely to the literature. So, it is very important to use good quality literature, good quality research problem. Its significance is carefully stated on the questionnaire or on its covering letter. So whenever you design a questionnaire, there is a covering letter on the questionnaire that in which your research aim should be written. You requesting the respondents to fill the questionnaire should be written and mentioned. It seeks only that data which cannot be obtained from the resources like books, reports, or reports. So we do not have to forget that the kind of data we are collecting from the questionnaire. What kind of data is it? It is primary data. What is primary data? The data that you are collecting for the first time, that is called as primary data, right? That data is not existing anywhere else. You are the person who is collecting that data for the first time. So it is fresh data that is collected by the respondent. Now, yes, it is attractive in appearance, nearly arranged and clearly stated or printed. Directions are clear and complete. Important terms are clarified, right? Questions are objectives with no clues, hints, or suggestions. Questions are presented in the order of simple to complex order. Double barreled questions or putting two questions in one questions are also avoided. So double barrel question means two questions you have added into a single question. Please do not do that. You have to clearly state the questions. The directions you are writing in the questionnaire should be of very simple language. It should be precise and it should be clear. And questions are presented in order from simple to complex. So, the complexity should gradually increase. It should not be like that you are making very difficult questions at the first and second question, and then you are increasing the complexity. The complexity should be as per the design of the questionnaire. Earlier there should be simple questions, and then gradually you should start adding the difficult questions or complex questions. Now we have this flow chart. This flow chart shows us the types of questionnaire. Now, whenever flow charts comes, right, it is better you draw it down in your copy. Why I always emphasize you to draw these kind of flow charts or diagrams in your copy, because I want you to understand that whenever you write an answer to a particular question, these type of questionnaires improves the quality of your answers, right? They help you write a better answer. So whenever you are writing types of questionnaire, you have please represent that in this kind of diagrammatic order. The first is called as unstructured, then structured, then semi-structured. Okay. When I'm talking about structured, I'm talking about open-ended questionnaire. When I'm talking about structured, I'm talking about classified questions. When I'm talking about semi-structured, I'm talking about mixed set of questions, right? Closed, open-ended question, closed-ended question, and mixed set of questions. This is what I'm doing. So when I'm talking about open-ended questions, open-ended questions means we are giving a lot of scope to the respondents to answer a particular question, right? We are asking them their opinion and we want them to express their opinion in their own way. We are not giving them fixed answers or compartmentalized answers. So that is called as open-ended questions, right? So open-ended questions are completely unstructured questions. There is a lot of scope for the researcher to answer those questions, right? Uh, some examples are given. For example, thematic perception test, word association test, and some other test also. So these are basically what are they? They are actually a psychological test that helps to decode the unconscious mind. When I want to decode what is going on in your unconscious mind, I can go for TAT, which is called as thematic perception test. So I show you an image, an image, maybe a girl and a boy are standing, or a father and a mother is standing, and they have some expressions on their faces, and then you have to decode the story. You have to make a story that will reflect your unconscious uh, emotions or unconscious things which are happening in your mind. So that is called as thematic perception test. Then we have word association. What is word association test? I give you a word and you give me a word that is associated with the earlier word. So it also shows, uh, your idea, your feelings, your attitudes, and because words defines your emotions and it expresses whatever is going on in your mind. So it is again a open-ended technique. Whenever we are doing psychological testing, we are using open-ended questions or unstructured questionnaire because we want to know more and more about the respondent. We want them to talk more and more so that we get all the dimensions uh, of his thought process of whatever he's thinking so that we can treat him well, right? Any psychological disorder kind of thing, if we are doing and you are using a questionnaire, then try to make it as explorable. It should have a great scope of writing and explaining. And then we have sentence, story, or picture completion. Again, a part of unstructured open-ended questionnaire where you can understand or explain a story to your friends or your family, right? You are the kind of story you choose, the kind of storyline you choose defines what is going on with you, right? What kind of zone are you in right now? Next we come to structured questions, right? In structured questionnaire also we have dichotomous questions, matrix questions, multiple choice questions, scale questions, contingency questions. So when I'm talking about structured questionnaire, I'm talking about closed-ended questions. Now, what are these closed-ended questions? These are the questions which have specific answers to them, and you need to answer those specific questions. So dichotomous means you have only two categories, yes or no. You have to answer that question in either yes or no. If you like a particular thing, you say yes. If you do not like it, you say no. You do not have further scope to explain that why you have said yes or no, right? Then we have metrics. In metrics, you have complicated questions and you give them answers, you know, that can be that can define your emotion to some extent, right? For example, I'll give you an example of a metrics type of a questionnaire, which is a closed-ended question, right? How do you like experience of dining with us? So this is a question that a restaurant is asking. Option number one is I am delighted. I love the quality. I love the service and I love the ambience. Right? Point number two is I am highly satisfied with the quality but not with the service and ambience. Point number three is I am satisfied with the quality, ambience, and services. Next question is I am not at all happy with anything in the in this hotel. Next question can be I'm dissatisfied with the quality, service, and the ambience is okay. So I am giving you different kind of answers displaying different kind of emotions. So that is called as metrics. Then we have contingency model. Now what is contingency model? Contingency model means anything that depends on situation. Whatever the research problem you have, you make it, you add dichotomous questions, you add single-ended questions, you add multiple choice questions, you add scale questions. It should depend on the kind of research problem that you have. It can be multiple choice answers. For example, uh, how do you like the quality of the service in a hospital? You can the answers can be highly satisfied or I don't know or not satisfied or last option can be worse. So this is how multiple choice questions can be designed. Then we have scale questions. When I talk about scale questions, I am talking about Likert scale. Likert scale is a technique through which you can collect data that helps you to understand data and help you to, it is basically designed to make you answer the qualitative terms. For example, there are some terms that cannot be measured in quantitative terms. For example, we have opinions, we have attitudes. So these are the things that cannot be measured properly, right? So what do we do actually? We make a scale so that we can measure them. Now, these scales, among the scales, one scale is Likert scale, which is very widely used, and it is a very famous kind of a scale in which you code the different degrees of liking of the customers, right? You code like if I'm highly satisfied with a particular service or I am very happy with a particular service, I will write 5. If I'm somewhat satisfied, I will write 4. If I'm neither satisfied nor happy, you can write 3. Then in second, you can write not satisfied, and in one, you can write worst services. So these are called as scale questions. Okay. Now, after studying the types of questionnaire, we are going to start with open-ended or unstructured questions. See, when I talk about open-ended questions, I am talking about the questions which are not structured at all. For example, thematic or perception test, word associate test, sentence, story, or picture completion techniques. Then, in open-ended questions, it gives you opportunity to express their opinion in a free-flowing manner. These questions have predetermined set of responses, and the respondent is free to answer whatever she feels right. It can help to get through insightful and even unexpected suggestions. Qualitative questions fall under this category, right? So, if you can see on the right side of the slide, the most important thing is that you give the freedom to the respondent to express the opinion. No capping of opinion because you want to avoid the bias. You are not compartmentalizing the opinions, or you are, dividing the opinions into two or three categories, but you want to show them, make them realize that, these are the things that I'm doing. Scope to obtain more information. So, uh, in open-ended questions, because you are asking the opinion of the individuals, you are asking for more information from the people, you are giving them more kind of freedom or more kind of authority to express their opinion. And one of the most important thing is that you can get even unexpected answers from the questionnaire that you are not expecting. Data form is qualitative. So whatever data form is using, qualitative data means the data which cannot be accurately quantified, or the data which cannot be measured accurately. For example, attitude, opinion, satisfaction level, right? Difficult to analyze or coding statistically. So if we have so many advantages, we have some disadvantages also. What is a disadvantage? It is difficult to analyze or code that particular data. Once you get paragraphs and pages of opinions and attitudes of the customer, how will you quantify it? How will you measure it? How will you code it? How will you transfer that data into a Excel sheet or a SPSS sheet? Because at the end, in the end, you have to go for data analysis that you won't be able to do. Now, completely unstructured questions. Such questions were used openly to get opinion or view about the aspect. So when we have a completely structured questionnaire, we want to understand the view of the customer or what the customer feel about a particular thing or particular brand, right? So here you want to state your opinion. Here you want people to state opinion about the sports policy amended by the Sports Ministry of India. How can we promote women empowerment in India? What are the facilities to expect from the institution? Suggest your opinion to promote healthy lifestyle in India. So these all questions can have multiple answers, right? To promote healthy lifestyle in India, I can give you thousand answers of this. One answer can be you just restrict the junk food, uh, you restrict the movement of vehicles, four wheelers, two wheelers, to some limited days, and rest of the days people should either walk, run, or they should use cycle, right? Another way of healthy lifestyle can be, you should remove lifts from all the buildings and those people who do not have any kind of disease, let people use the stairs and let people walk. There should be gyms and workout areas in all the offices so that whenever people are getting time in metro cities, they can go to the gym and they can work out, right? Yoga should be the part of curriculum when it comes to younger children, or the school curriculum. It should be part of school curriculum, because whenever we teach, whatever we teach from the beginning, that a student or a children is going to imbibe in the personality. So the opinion that I can give to promote a healthy lifestyle in India are many, right? So the thing that you need to consider is that you can uh, add completely unstructured questions when you are looking for multi-dimensional answers, or the answers that can change the way people think, change the way people do, right? So, for example, what are the facilities you expect from the institution? So, in this question, also, I can answer the question in multiple ways. Next is thematic apperception technique. So, this can be called as TAT. Again, we should show gratitude towards the person who has invented this technique. The name of him is Murray. It was originally designed to measure normal dimensions of personality in general population. But what actually thematic apperception test is, in this questionnaire, sequence of pictures are shown to the respondents in same order of same duration and ask the following questions of every picture. So you are exposed to some different kind of pictures, and then you have to decode those pictures. For example, you can see two pictures in front of you, right? You have to decode this picture from what the author, you can make a story on the first and the second picture as well. These four questions are asked: what happens, what led up to the situation, what the outcome will be, and what the characters could be thinking and feeling. These all four questions you have to answer whenever you see images. The respondent may be analyzed in terms of theme, conflicts, motivation, interest, etc. that appear in them. So this kind of test is called as thematic perception test. Okay. So this can also be done, thematic perception test. So this is also an example of unstructured technique. We have some other kinds of tests also that we are going to cover in the coming classes. I think that's enough for today. Let me conclude on what we have discussed till now. We have discussed the concept of questionnaire. After that, we have discussed that what is the basic purpose and benefits or advantages of questionnaire. What are the elements of questionnaire? There is a title, there is general information, specific instructions, questionnaire items. Then we have studied what are the characteristics of a good questionnaire, right? What are the things that you should add? Then we have studied types of questionnaire, open-ended questionnaire we have studied. We have seen some examples of completely unstructured questions. And then we have covered thematic perception test. So I think that's enough for today. Thank you so much for joining. We will cover the rest of the part in the next class. Thank you so much. I'm ending the meeting now.